Right then, here we go. One Vauxhall Vivaro, 2011/12. One CANM cruise control kit, complete with instructions. And a van that I know nothing about how to get the panels off, so I shall investigate further. So the stalk's going to go somewhere there. I've just got to take that off to get and see what's there. And there's a couple of screws in here, and I'm guessing the same the other side to take that bottom panel off. I don't actually know whether I need to or not yet, so I shall look into that a little bit further. So that's the CAN bus, and there isn't actually much room. In fact, there's no room to put anything into it that I can see. And these are the bits. And somewhere here is where it's all going to go. Right, this bit comes off with a couple of carefully placed screwdrivers in the top. That just pops off, so reveals a pile of stuff in there. I know not what yet. And whether that's any use, we shall see. Bunch of wires and stuff. Oh, look at that treasure. It's like a tuppenny piece. Bargain. Looks like this pops off from there. Ginger with it, because I really, as you probably know, can't work out what I'm supposed to do. Basically, I know nothing about taking cars to bits, so this could be a bit of a problem. Well, cars, vans, whatever. I'm sure we'll work on it in time. Not the cleverest of release mechanisms, but that thing does actually pop out on that side. And hopefully it will go back again when it's supposed to. So. Release that anyway. Right. Two-way connector, red to pin 6, black to pin 14 on the OBD socket, and then that little plug there will go in at the end of the magic box, kind of a bit like that drawing there. Now all we have to do is work out which is OBD pin 6 and pin 14, so time to do a bit of counting and thinking. Right, well, where it says connect the red wire to pin 6 and the black to pin 14 on the OBD, if you've got really good eyes, which I haven't, but I have managed to find these, there are little tiny numbers. So that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and likewise on the other side. So you've got to look very carefully to see these, otherwise you could cock it up completely. So at least I've identified wire 6 and wire 14. So now I'll prepare the end of my cable for a bit of soldering and then work out what I'm going to solder it to. So in my case, 6 is the mauve with a black streak wire, and 14 is the white with a black streak wire. Right, after a little bit of fiddling, we've now got wire 6, which is the red going to go to, and wire 14 or pin 14, which is where the black one is going to go to. I've prepared and tinned the ends of the wires, so I'm now ready to solder, so I'll do that next. And there we have the 2 wires soldered on, so I shall tape them up to secure them and protect them. We'll carry on from there. Voila, 2 soldered wires to the OBD socket as instructed. So that there will plug into the magic box. Right, now this bit is saying I've got to wire this fuse with this wire, which I've just bared, to the 2 yellows from the ignition, which is in this pile of bits in under there. couple of yellow wires there going off to the ignition, so I've got to tee into that and solder that cable into that. Back in a moment. And if one delves into this box, you can actually get hold of this connector, which has got a white, a red, two yellows and another yellow. So I'm going to have to tee into the bit with the two yellows. Back in a moment. Alright, so that's the fuse with the tape off. So as you can see, there are two yellow wires going to one terminal, a white to another, a red to another, and a single yellow at the back. I'm guessing this is a bit in the movies where they rip these wires out, twist a couple together, and the car starts and off they go. But I think if I was doing it, I'd just blow a bunch of fuses. Anyway, let's give it a go and do what the instructions say. Alright, so this is the bit with the accelerator pedal connector. You can just see that on the top. Which I can't get my fingers to. Oh, there. So that'll have to come apart. And then these two connectors will, one will go on the male part and the other will plug into the other bit, I hope. We shall see in a moment. I didn't have enough hands to hold the camera and do that as well, so that's it poked through from behind, and that goes in through a hole. So that there bit, which I haven't connected up yet, to the yellow power supply from the ignition, will plug into my little gadget, which I'm planning to fit, if I can, under here. I'm going to drill a couple of holes in there and there and put a cable tie around it with a bit of sponge underneath it to hold it in place, and it will go through, the cable ties will go through the holes here to secure it and stop it wobbling around. That's the master plan. We shall see how it develops. Again, a bit fiddly to see and do filming, but that plug, if you squeeze the two end bits and wiggle them together, it will lift out, so I'm just in the process of doing that. Right, so that's the plug that's come out of the accelerator thing, which you can't really see because I've got the light on it, but that is there. So that will plug into the one of these bits, and the other one will plug back on the socket. I'll try and show you in a moment. That's one bit done. This dangly bit here has got to go back where that socket came from a minute ago. In there somewhere. Hopefully just like that. As Tommy Cooper would say. That was the bit I was most nervous about, was soldering those two wires together. So that's from the 1 amp fuse into the yellow ignition wire. So I'll take that up and hopefully that'll be okay. Right, so over this side I'm going to stick the stalk. There are a couple of screw holes under there and there that you can loosen and separate that cowling. So I'm hoping if I drill a 10mm hole somewhere about here, oops, about there, that should be clear to push the control cable through and tighten that nut up. So we'll see how we get on with that. Alright, so there we are, hole drilled, wire threaded through, washer and nut fitted. So I'm just going to connect that up to fit the stalk. Right, so that's my stalk fitted. You can tighten it up by screwing this bit. You can just about get a spanner in behind there, and then tighten this bit up around it, and then this end piece will pop off, and you can unscrew all the wires that would have possibly got a bit caught up or twisted up anyway, and then that fits on a nice little ratchet arrangement. So you can position that to how you want it, and then there's a little clip that pops in there to retain it. And then the other end of the wires, that lot. I've got to now read the instructions and find out what I'm supposed to do with them. Right, now you've got to plug up the connectors that they supplied with the stalk, so hopefully that should be okay. Then you've got to connect it to the little black box and then fit it all. Right, that's my 2 holes drilled where I think the cable tie is going to push through there and hold the unit in the panel, which I'm now going to connect up and then push through and secure. Right, so that's everything all connected up. So hopefully that should all be good to go once I've secured it in the little cubby hole. Right, so that's it secured. I've put the OBD connector back in and that bit. So hopefully it should work. We shall see. So far it seems good. It's a little button at the bottom. It's keeping me going at 25 miles an hour. I press to change gear because it's a manual box. It drops out, which it should do. Again, that's holding me at a nice 40, and if I put the brake on momentarily and then take my foot off again,